Did House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff pay witnesses over $40 million to testify against President Trump? No, that's not true. The story comes from a satire website. There is no evidence that such a payment took place. And the people referenced in the story either don't exist or didn't testify against Trump. The claim originated from an article published by Bustatroll.com on December 3, 2019, titled "Adam Schiff Paid Witnesses Over $40 Million to Testify Against Trump," which opened, quote, "More corruption from the Democrats today," as reports from Capitol Hill suggest that shifty Adam Schiff has not only been leading an illegal coup against the president, but paying the witnesses with taxpayer dollars. According to our source inside the congressman's office, the treachery goes far beyond mere bribery. "We have almost gathered the proof necessary to go public to the mainstream media about what's really going on here." Schiff and the Dems have been paying witnesses huge amounts of money to testify against Trump. Gordon Sunderland, for example, is said to have received $11 million in tax breaks and corporate welfare last year, which we are sure we can tie to Schiff's office somehow. Anita Hill was approached on Friday by Jon Stewart, who is known to stick his nose into politics where it doesn't belong, to help people he thinks are needy, when actually it's all just a scam, according to our one guy. End quote. Users on social media only saw this title, description and thumbnail. Quote, "Adam Schiff paid witnesses over $40 million to testify against Trump. Shifty has been up to no good." End quote. The site is part of the America's Last Line of Defense network of satire websites run by self-professed liberal troll Christopher Blair from Maine, along with a loose confederation of friends and allies. Blair has been in a feud with fact-checking website Snopes for some time now, and has also criticized other fact-checkers in the past who labeled his work fake news instead of satire. In reaction to this, he has recently rebranded all his active websites and Facebook pages so they carry extremely visible disclaimers everywhere. Every site in the network has an About page that reads, in part, quote, "About satire before you complain," and decide satire as synonymous with comedy. Satire, sati, are noun the use of humor, irony, exaggeration, or ridicule to expose and criticize people's stupidity or vices, particularly in the context of contemporary politics and other topical issues. Everything on this website is fiction. It is not a lie, and it is not fake news because it is not real. If you believe that it is real, you should have your head examined. Any similarities between this site's pure fantasy and actual people, places, and events are purely coincidental, and all images should be considered altered and satirical. See above if you're still having an issue with that satire thing. End quote. Articles from Blair's sites frequently get copied by real fake news sites that often omit the satire disclaimer and any other hints the stories are fake. Blair has tried to get these sites shut down in the past, but new ones keep cropping up. Here is a video of Blair explaining how his process works. If you are interested in learning more about Blair and the history of his sites, here is something to get you started. Quote, "The ultimate Christopher Blair and America's Last Line of Defense reading list, lead stories story updated, check for updates below." Yesterday Eli Saslow at The Washington Post wrote a fantastic article about Christopher Blair, a man from Maine who has been trolling conservatives and Trump supporters online for years and occasionally even made a living out of it. End quote. If you see one of his stories on a site that does not contain a satire disclaimer, assume it is fake news. If you do see the satire disclaimer, it is of course also fake news. NewsGuard, a company that uses trained journalists to rank the reliability of websites, describes Bustatroll.org as, quote, "a site that publishes false stories and hoaxes that are often mistaken for real news, part of a network named America's Last Line of Defense run by hoax perpetrator Christopher Blair." End quote. According to NewsGuard, the site does not maintain basic standards of accuracy and accountability. Read their full assessment here. We wrote about Bustatroll.org before. Here are our most recent articles that mention the site. Fake news, Greta not going on hunger strike until Trump is removed. Fake news, 4 Democrat senators are not turning Republican because they oppose impeachment. Fake news, Pelosi did not say, "If impeachment fails, I will resign immediately." Fake news, Dr. Phil did not say, "Women who support Trump are damaged." Fake news. Representative Omar did not demand Capitol tree be topped by Kono's crescent moon.